Well, 3 nasty, entertaining, bloody games tonight, and I dare say we're about to head into a 4th. We've got Order and Legacy coming up shortly. These beautiful voices next to me, they're also people, not just a voice, all right? Eyes up here, you know, they've got the face that rules the nation. On this one in particular, Juves, he's the most handsome man we've ever seen in Oceanic League of Legends talent. So we're very blessed to have him here with us.
I got a face for radio, that's for sure, but Skimmy on the other hand. Hey, don't single me when I say I got a face for radio.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful inside out, mate.
Witherby's throwing me under the bus big time there. Huh?
The smile, the brain, the personality, everying. Everything.
He hasn't spoken to me all night. I've been trying to contact him all night, like I missed him, and then just singles me as I said I've got a face for radio. Just to emphasize, yeah you do. Yeah you do.
He do. No, you don't really. That was the lie. But look, let's talk Order first here. We've got a couple of very good teams. You know, Legacy, unfortunately, not quite making it as far as Order will now. Order, of course, is one of the playoff teams that we have. And look, speaking of good-looking blokes, Jesus, over on the left there, Maximize, spitting image to the Lord and Saviour, Skimmy.
Look, I think this might be the most beautiful team in the league. You know, they'll hit the playoffs, no doubt. They'll be quite upset, no doubt, that there is no LAN. Because, you know, I'm sure if they walked up to each other, they could hit them with a little bit of that smile and, you know, get them tilted on emotions running there. But jokes aside, jumping into this one, this is a team that's been slowly on the rise. I mean, they've had moments where they've looked, I mean, this match here in particular against Pentanet, they were getting stomped on as a result, but it's very hard to go up against Pentanet. But for me, they've got that creativity. I continue to look at their bot lane as an area which gets overshadowed sometimes between Vengeance and Maximize, but I like Puma because he just, in a meta where you're seeing Kaiser and Zaya on repeat, he'll say, I'll play Vayne. You know, I'll play something different. Yeah. I don't really mind. So I quite like Puma, and I think there's just a lot of interesting bot lanes in this region in terms of those that will play Vayne, those that will go Blitz, those that will go Tristana, and the list goes on.
Sorry, no, go ahead, Mac.
Me?
Yeah,
sure?
You go. You're the boss.
Okay, just checking.
The servant for you.
Look, thank you. Thank you. Back to your corner. Now, look, it is a perfect little segue here. I just wanted to quickly say, yes, I also love Puma, but I also love a little bit of Legacy. So let's have a quick look at Legacy and see what they've got and what they might be able to bring for us today. Oh, we got Why Not. He's back.
Why Not's back. Yeah, Mr. Why Not. So good to see him back. Winter Why Not. I think Why Not had a decent game in his debut on the Nidalee. Well, he debuted in mid lane, but we won't talk about that one. Then we got Fake Curcio in the mid lane because he did replicate some faker tendencies in the game that he played Zed on last night. So we'll keep him Fake Curcio for there. And Styled and ML, for me, the two most impressive actually at the moment on this roster in terms of their laning phase. They're really taking it to the big boys. And if you are 2v2 kill Gunkrab and Cupcake, you must be doing something right. And, you know, they were probably what we would have, if we're being completely honest, before the split started, we would have said they're the weaker links of the team. Right? If I'm being brutally honest. But I would say now they've turned into one of their stronger points. So Legacy really showing us a very good upwards trajectory. Had some rough games. Also had some games where the most likely to take a game off Pentanet. So I'm super excited to see this team play. They have a real cool niche champion pools, and you never know what you're going to get when you verse them. And, you know, it is fun to watch. They're an exciting team. They play upset a lot of the time, and can they play upset tonight against Order?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the angle we've been going at all night, right? These teams that are no longer in the playoffs run, can they look to try and disrupt the pack? I mean, I think in terms of seeding now, it's really all up for 4th and 5th, so it's not as exciting as it may have been at the start of the night. But these are games where perhaps if you're on the opposite end, where, you know, playoffs is still the main goal, you're looking to try and get as much stage performance and promise for those best of 5s, you know, maybe you're putting a lot of gravity into the situation and thinking, hey, we're losing to Legacy, what's going on here? So I think, you know, either way, this should be an exciting matchup where, you know, one team everything to gain, the other team nothing to lose.
Look, that's exactly what I wanted to say as well, Skimmy, is Legacy nothing to lose, and you know that means they're about to unleash. You know, they can play exactly how they want. They can limit test to their heart's extent. And now let's have a look at what limit testers we have here with us. Nat, you're down on the sidelines. Who do you have for the final interview of the day? Oh, well, final pre-game interview of the day.
I'm going to be joined by Puma and Styled. I feel like 2 players we don't really talk to very often, but thank you both so much for joining me. Styled, I want to start with you guys. You know, it's now known that you're not going to be making it to playoffs, unfortunately. So I want to ask, what are the goals for the team in today's game and tomorrow's game?
I would say we're just trying to close out the season like as strong as we can. We had some decent showings throughout the split, but I think we just want to finish off the split like how we started. So yeah, and then just focus on the next split after that.
Sounds good. Is there a reason to why you guys have put Why Not back in to the roster?
Just trying things out really. When you lose, like, obviously it's a team loss, like not a single person lost the game, but like you still want to try different things to see what will work. So yeah.
Is there a certain sort of toll that swapping plays in and out takes for the team, or how is the change for the synergy of the team?
Honestly, we fit pretty much the same as we do with Sybil. There really is like no synergy issue, I would say. It's just that as a team, we just sometimes lack coordination and we can't manage to close out games as we should.
Well, hopefully Why Not will bring that to you guys tonight. But Puma, you guys are going to be making it to playoffs. So how important is this matchup for you, and what's the pressure like in the team?
I think the remaining games are still pretty important, even though we're pretty much locked in for fourth, I think. Our stage performance is like not reflective of our scrim results, so I think winning today is a good step in doing well in playoffs.
What sort of prep have you guys been doing for this matchup?
I think the biggest prep is draft, because Legacy is, I think, probably the most weird team to draft against, because Curso has a really weird pull into their top laner, so I think preparing for draft this game is pretty important.
Alrighty, we'll be keeping an eye on the draft, but thank you both so much for joining me and good luck in the game today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're both so quietly spoken.
Yeah.
I feel like I want a little bit more confidence from both of them there. You know, it's not a good sign going into a matchup like this where Order really want those W's, you know. So I guess before we jump into predictions, you know, Jubes, what likelihood is an upset by Legacy in this game?
I mean, Legacy beat them first time around. So...
Oh, they did too.
Yeah, so it's not like it's not happened before, and I've definitely done a curveball in my tips, if you know what I mean, just because I think Order obviously deserve the playoffs. Like, they're in the playoffs, they deserve it, they've played well, progressed well, but I think stylistically, Legacy just match up very well against Order. And so, for that, I'm not going to tell you what I tipped.
Well, how about we just find out? Bring them up, have a look at the predictions, and let's see which way Jubes has leaned. And it looks like he's gone for Legacy, so... You know, arguably, favourites, not favourites. I feel like this is one of those sort of coin flip matchups. I actually, you know, going into today when I did the predictions, I was thinking, you know what? I actually think Legacy probably has a better chance of winning just because Order's been a bit all over the place with what we've seen. Similar to what we saw from the Chiefs leading up till today. But maybe this is the point when Order knuckle down. You know, maybe this is where they show what they're capable of. What we saw from them earlier in the split. I believe there was one game where they completely steamrolled over their opponents. What about you, Nat? Why have you gone for Legacy?
I mean, you just heard it there for the second interview in a row, like, against Legacy, right? The interview yesterday and then the interview today, they're like, Legacy is one of the wackiest drafting teams and probably the hardest to prep for. And I just think that that's a really good concoction to give Legacy the advantage coming up against Order for another win.
Look, and if you want to check out how good your concoction of genes are, you can head over to Esports Assessment Labs and check out your genetics, you know, your cognitive ability, your bloody reaction times, and then, you know, so much more as well. And then test them against the rest and us and other very famous individuals, because we're famous. Now, look, let's get into Champ Select before I dig a hole. I love digging holes. I'm not exactly a tradesman. I think I did have my green card, white card, whatever it is these days. That's probably out of date now. So, This is the only job I have left. Please don't fire me. Boys, take it away before I keep going.
We'll save Mac and save you guys at home as we jump into the final game here for week 5, day 2. Legacy taking on Order. It's a game which, as you say, stylistically could be Legacy favored. I mean, for me, Jubes, and I'm sure you have your own take on things, I look at it, first of all, Incursio will pretty much do anything to cause respect bans towards him. And then Winterer is that big wild card where he might just try and play something, you know, strange in the top side. And if it works, gains huge leads. And
Changi. Order have just thrown the curveball. It's just off the top of my head. What's not banned? Versus Incursio. What is it?
Don't make me say it, Jubes. The Katarina's been let through again. We've seen it happen before. We saw it actually yesterday, right? Direwolves let it through, but then banned it in the second rotation. So they're trying to bait him out of the woodwork and say, lock in Katarina. I dare you.
I'm super keen. I hope he plays it. Like, what do you have to lose at this point? You know what? Sometimes when a one-trick, well, not a one-trick, but sometimes when someone really proficient at a champion comes into the league, they actually don't want to pick their champ. Because if they lose, if they stumble, if they play poorly, it tarnishes their reputation. Now, is Incursio scared to lock in that Katarina?
Look, if I've learned anything from his performances so far, I don't think he cares. I think he'll just, you know, lock it in if given the opportunity. But if it is so early on, there is definitely the ability to counterpick it and find ways to shut it down. Tristana, fresh, going to be a strong, solid bot lane. Tristana definitely could flex elsewhere, but those two would do a fair bit of work in trying to nullify the Katarina.
I wouldn't be surprised too if with that Lucian's in the mid lane, Incursio picks that one up, and why not pairs it with something like the Nidalee? Why not? He often plays solo queue and picks one champ. And picks one champion to get like really good at, or like just to grind consistently. And that flavor of the month or year or however long it's been for Why Not is the Nidalee. So it's going to be interesting to see if he opts in for that. His first game in jungle in the LCO was on the Nidalee as well, so keep that one in mind. But Nautilus probably picked bot lane, not probably. We're fairly certain, and the Gragas might just be going into the top lane. So that does look like Lucian mid, can still be Lucian bot lane though.
Yep. I don't think we'll see a Nautilus mid lane like we saw Winterer play last year. So you'd imagine that would be in the bot lane. The Gragas can go all over the show, and the Lucian. We've seen it play between mid lane as well as top, so both Incursio and Winterer have showcased it. Could be a triple flex, could go into Starwood as well to try and find a short, close quarter matchup, but this definitely gives you the flexibility now to say, well, if you pick an AP mid, we can get that counter pick.
Yeah, Karthus being picked up here too. I actually don't mind it. Now, I don't mind it here because it's into bans. So you want to take away Nidalee, you want to take away potentially the Kindred as well, just because they are matchups that matchup that Karthus has a little bit of trouble into, because Karthus just wants to like full clear, uninterrupted, let me go. Now they've banned the Katarina. That's definitely one that can send Karthus into the Shadow Realm. Now interesting to see whether they take the Nidalee off the board too.
Let's see what direction they decide to go with this one to provide Vengeance as much protection as possible to fight himself into that desirable Karthus matchup. There you go. The Kindred has been denied away. It's been the only two champions that Why Not has played so far, between the Kindred as well as the Nidalee. So still that option available, but would give them a fair bit of AP.
And I would like to see Nidalee picked up just because it's comfort. Some people think it's more of a placebo champion where you think it's doing more than it is just because, like, you know, we all know Nidalee from solo queue and things like that. But I just like to see Why Not on comfort. You know, young player, has some very good mechanics on the Nidalee, and it is a good matchup into Karthus. So see if you opt in for that one. You definitely can't opt in for the tank matchup. You opt in for the tank matchup, Karthus is just going to steamroll you, especially with Liandry's being the mythic item that you rush now. It just makes it so efficient, so cost efficient for Karthus.
Okay, we're going to get ourselves another Jace. Maximize only played one game on us so far. We're going to run it back again and just promote this idea that we will have Poke to prevent the all-in that Legacy have already brought together, right? You know, you talk about the Nautilus and Gragas engage angle, the ability then for the Lucian to run you down and guarantee that kill works in your favor. What do you reckon of this Jace?
I like the Jace. I think it's going to go into the Gragas. However, doesn't seem like a very good matchup, in the sense that Jace will obviously be very fine. Jace will obviously win the lane, but Gragas is going to be able to survive you probably opt in for the Comet or the Phase Rush and just play the lane at range. You'll go down in CS, but when it comes to the group, you'll be more relevant than the Jace. Like, unless, you know, Maximize is able to find those flanks, that poker that comes on through. But we'll have to wait and see. Kha'Zix is another option. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Hey, I like this champion. I'm a big fan of it. We haven't seen too much deviation in the jungling department.
Okay.
Is this good? I mean, in isolation, which is funny because that is pretty much Kha'Zix's biggest strength.
Yeah.
Is he looking to try and do just that and take down this Scarface?
Look, in isolation, the Kha'Zix matchup is good at level 6. However, the thing I want you to consider is it's a very AD-focused composition now.
Sure.
Right? Like, in the sense that, where's your AP? It's a Gragas, but in terms of being the sole AP threat, don't think it's great. He'll probably opt in for the Everfrost now because he needs to, right? Before, maybe you could opt in for the tank route and be that front line for your Lucian.
Yeah.
But I think it really just throws a spanner in the works to the composition of Legacy. You never want to draft Kha'Zix when steel plates can be super efficient. Like, there's no other boots needed for anyone in this game. Obviously, besides Karthus, you're going to go Sork boots. But it makes your mid-jungle 2v2 like that much worse.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Nidalee here makes your mid-jungle 2v2 have different damage sources. You know, can you itemize for the AP? Can you itemize for the AD? And it gives them just like a real curveball. So for me, it's not what I would have picked. But again, it's not. I'm not playing. It's not comfort for me. So probably makes a lot more sense if you're a Legacy player. But in terms of looking at it as a composition, I think they could have opted in for an AP threat in the jungle, and it would have been far better. Now, the only thing I can think of is that Why Not's game plan is to focus this Jace, because you never want to leave Jace isolated. You don't want to leave Jace on an island. If that's what you do, Jace is going to 1v9 the game. The reason why Jace is so hard to play and why it's not picked all of the time is because it's immobile. Jace has an acceleration gate that he needs to use in lane to get the most out of like the bullied laning phase. But that leaves him susceptible to be ganked. When you have the Gragas CC combined with the Kha'Zix, he's probably going to fall down a fair few times. So mixing that damage source up makes sense, but in Curcio to be on an island 1v1 versus Tristana doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it's interesting because we talk about the top lane matchup and obviously how Jace can work in that fashion to be aggressive but then be quite vulnerable as a result. Talk to me a little bit about this jungle matchup, you know, given the fact that both will be very keen for a full clear to reach level 6 as quickly as possible, but there are ganking routes available if they do pop up.
So a long time ago, and it feels like a lifetime ago now when I got the Challenger, I was like pretty much Karthus one trick. And the Kha'Zix matchup wasn't one that I struggled with the most because you play at range with your Qs. When Kha'Zix closes the gap, you drop your wall down and you get distance, right? You get the distance, and especially pre-6. When level 6 ticks over for Why Not, it's going to be a little bit harder for the Karthus, but at that point in the game, you're not the jungle matchup isn't isolation. It's not 1v1. So if Karthus falls down and he's level 6, you're still at, I would say at worst case, you're still able to trade 1-for-1. And if you're trading 1-for-1 with Karthus, it's just downward. It's just a downward spiral that you're never going to win. So this matchup can become quite dangerous, and it's not as easy for Kha'Zix if Karthus gets a lead. So we need to keep our eyes on this matchup, keep our eyes on how Why Not plays it, how he paths around, and what Vengeance does.
Well, here to help try and break down things for us, we do have Coach Omo from Order on Standby. Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Hey, I want to first of all start by congratulating you guys. Obviously, playoffs are secured. You find yourself in a bit of a race between yourselves and Chiefs to go for the 4th and 5th spot. Would you say that your expectations are met? Or maybe if we flip that question, are you happy with the progress you've made from the start of LCO?
No and no. I think making playoffs, given the current quality, I should say, of the LCO, or like the teams, especially the bottom half teams, it's kind of a given, right? Like, it's not a big achievement or accomplishment or anything. But having said that, I feel like our progress has been extremely slow, and I'm very unhappy with it. We'll definitely
do you
look
attribute
to make a
that
big
to
change
anything in
between now and
particular?
playoffs, though. Well,
yeah, I mean, that
go
was exactly
too
where my
into
question
depth.
was going to segue to.
Yeah, I don't want to go too into depth about this, but there are some clear weaknesses which we are trying to work on, and hopefully by the time playoff comes around, we'll have it fixed and we'll be a better team by then.
And is it as simple as just boiling it down to it being a condensed season where, you know, multiple super weeks, the turnaround time isn't as, you know, easy to, you know, triage? Or are we just looking to say, look, you know, maybe not the strongest split, but split 2's around the corner. We've guaranteed playoffs. Let's just hit the home running for these best of 5s.
Yeah, I think looking forward towards Split 2 is definitely our goal as well. We'll definitely try to make some noise in playoffs, take maybe a series or two. But Split 2 is definitely our goal. These players are all very inexperienced and new, to be honest. I asked them just now, how many of you guys have actually played Best of 5s before? And none of them have. So we're definitely looking to get a lot of experience this split, and we're definitely going through a lot of our growing pains right now. So when we come into Split 2, hopefully we'll hit the ground running.
And talk to me a little bit about that on a more personal level. How have you been finding that, you know, with all these rookies and knowing that that is going to be the next challenge to encounter? I'm sure there have been multiple challenges along the way, but has it been quite rewarding?
The rewards haven't quite come yet. Hopefully in Split 2. It's been challenging. It's been a little bit frustrating at times. Sometimes it's been rewarding, but I would say more often than not, it's been challenging. But I feel like our growing pains are starting to be worked off, so hopefully it won't take too much longer for us to start finding our footing.
And on a final note, as I've said to teams before, the floor is open if you want to say anything to the fans at home watching as we look to close out the final week of regular play.
Yeah, definitely just cheer for us going to playoffs, cheer for us going into Split 2. I promise you guys we will be a stronger team by Split 2, and buy Puma merch, I guess.
Pleasure talking to you as always, Omo. I wish you the best of luck and talk soon.
Just thanks, guys.
Oh, Juves, what have you seen here?
It's been an absolute disaster for Why Not, if I'm being completely honest. Got invaded, lost his blue buff, had to swing down to his red side, try and picked up the red buff, went to the blue buff of Karthus, got collapsed on, and this is why Karthus is such a good champion. If you're able to draft priority with Karthus, i.e. the Jace lane, the Tristana lane, very early on, then you're just able to run away with the game because there's not much stronger level 1. And I really like to see the abuse of Karthus level 1. That's what Vengeance has done, and he's level 5 after this crab, and Why Not's level 3. So a little bit of a disaster, but Skirmy in the river here.
He's got double buff in a situation where he's going to get
Nice
collapsed on right now. Sidesteps the body slam as you call. Winter in trouble right now. Gets flashed on by Maximize. He guarantees the kills. Actually, Chungna picks up their first blood, but Kha'Zix gets a trade. 2 for 1 so far as Chungna gets a double kill. And he uses Exhaust and gets the hang onto his flash too.
I mean, absolute worst case scenario. And this is, you know, just because of hearing Omo's interview there, this is something that the growing pains that he was talking about, this is what Orders made improvements on in terms of very early into the split, they were losing games off contesting Scuttle Crabs. And now they're winning games off of it. So it's just like a complete 180 in terms of how they play the game, how they prioritize draft. It's just a really good skirmish here, a little bit of an outplay. Even if the body slam lands, I don't think it's a game changer. Maybe gets the phase rush and survives. But 2 kills onto Chungi. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start onto your Tristana, onto your Karthus, and he's going to hit 6. He's literally going to clear. Oh!
Well, that's stunned you. The momentum was in Order's favor, but Winter has pulled a rabbit out of a hat and managed to pick up a kill topside.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I was just going to talk about how Karthus is going to clear Gromp, going to clear Wolves, going to get level 6, and oh!
Okay, well, we've been interrupted rudely again. And Kirsta going to roam down to the Dragon, just get a solo kill onto Vengeance, who has no ultimate, can't do much to try and even out these odds as Amel lands the hook and punishes. And Kirsta is still leashing the Dragon, question mark pings in the chat for that. And as now the bot lane of Order rotate, they'll continue to leash and guarantee the first Dragon goes their way.
I absolutely did just cast the Curse Order. They went from maybe the best early game I've seen to this. And body slam coming. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. That is just unfortunate, and I'm pretty sure Maximize would have hoped that we didn't show that replay. Because there's not much to break down in that situation, except it went from a solo kill to a solo bolo on the other end.
Well, the one member that'll be quite content that he's able to do what he does best is Chungi. He's still got those 2 kills. He's found himself a CS lead, and he's been working his way towards getting that second turret play as the rest of the map have descended into a very early state of chaos.
I'm sorry, but I just lost words. I don't lose words often. Sometimes I get told to stop talking because I talk too much. But in that situation...
They helped you out.
Yeah, and there's a lane gank from Beats, so this is what the bot lane prior does. Cancels the dash.
Play right now. Winter has his ultimate. He's already used it so far. The Reclam's going to come on through. They're going to guarantee that Vengeance finds value with it. And that's Order finding another kill.
Yeah. I mean, it's just really good map play coming out of Beats. Like, the window he roamed top here was fantastic, and just the replay on the solo kill onto Vengeance. Obviously, Karthus, bit of a sitting duck. Now he's taking Karthus Qs as well as Infernal Drake damage, and he just has no way out. He's getting sandwiched, and kill goes over to Puma. Got to be happy with that one. But yeah, Order just playing the map well. Beats used his timing off a reset to go topside with his Mobies and pick up a kill there. So very well played, and evolution of Beats as a player.
Yeah, we heard actually from Omo, I believe, in the previous interview about how much Beats brings to the table. Right, he's so diverse in his ability to play multiple lanes. He's already done it in his professional career. Back to where it all began as a support. And going to be very curious, you know, following their progression going into these playoffs. You know, if they've not got the best of 5 experience, how much does that really play on you? If you can look to try and bounce back in a series or, you know, continue that momentum, because as far as it's coming best of ones, they've had their moments where maybe a game's gone away from them, but one late game team fight, the composure's been seen, and they've managed to claw a victory.
Now, the saving grace for Legacy is that Wynot is able to hit level 6, right? He's done a pretty good job to neutralize the EXP differential that was brought to him, you know, 3 levels, or 2 levels down rather, in the early game. So Karthus is at that, Kha'Zix is at that point now where he is able to, if need be, find Karthus in the river, find Karthus at a buff, and be able to one-shot him. Because he actually might be slightly ahead. Picking up that lethality item, having the ultimate now, Dark Harvest, a couple of those stacks, so pretty good position. And Incursor is doing quite well in the 1v1 here.
Well, he is holding his own now, despite it being a matchup where it's very AD-centric. They're definitely not out without a fight here, as Wynot with the double buff is going to invade and look to try and steal away the red buff. That's Vengeance holding the mid wave right now as Chungy's on a reset. He's going to have to face check this one. It's already gone.
Might be a solo bolo. Here we go.
Isolation time.
Yep.
Jumps on his head, and Incursor gets an assist, but it's Wynot that plays the fancy feet and finds value as his Kha'Zix. Now it's 2 kills to his name.
Now, Wynot's done a very good job in recovering. I mean, like, it was very, very bad. Like, I can't stress enough the situation he was in and how bad it was. But now he's able to recover the jungle matchup. All in the mid lane. He's also goes down.
Been committed. Chungy looking here. You'd imagine there's the explosive shot, the potential rocket jump in to, you know, seal the deal, but just really used to guarantee that he doesn't lose that trade.
I'm absolutely surprised he didn't go for the rocket jump there. I mean, he's not going to... Yeah, okay.
There it is. He buffed it. Fastest shot to secure it. Gone, and thank you.
Yeah, I mean, very good solo kill from Chungy. Just didn't get his reset off, so now he's got 3 kills to his name, 300 gold bounty, and all of a sudden, Chungy is in prime position to carry this one, and he's actually been a player throughout the whole year that just has incrementally gotten better, right? You think about some performances he's had, and I'm just going to hold that thought because...
Nice ward.
Legacy bot lane too low here.
Here comes the Requiem. There's the bunny hop. Here he hits it. Explosive shot. Buffers with the killer instinct. Just out of turret range. Emil with the last bit of mana is unable to try and secure that one. Exhaust to try and prevent the explosive cast. Chungy! He's out of range. Oh, it connects finally. It's another shutdown here for Wynot. He's 3-0. The hook connects. But it's all things Order so far. They lose 1, but they take down 4.
Culling.
And now it's Puma that's on the board. He finds himself a double kill, and Order sniffing at trouble, looking for the first taste of the game.
Yeah, this is an absolute disaster for Incursor. I mean, he's just not able to find the kills he wants on the back end there. But again, really well executed dive coming out of Order. And if it wasn't bad enough that Winterer came down, didn't pick up any kills and just died, it's the fact that Maximize is having a field day on top lane turret. So here's the replay. Really nice hooks landing from Beats. He's really in his zone this game. And just a good jungle mid lane swing to bot side. And just really well executed dive, juggling tower aggro, playing just outside the range of the turret. You know, maybe Chungy could have waited if you want to be hypercritical, forces the flash from Wynot. And again, just an outplay. Hook lands, Karthus picks up another kill, or Wynot, sorry, Puma picks that one up. Just as clean as you like. And it's a 4K gold lead, you know, 11 minutes in from Order. And I mean, probably statement of the night, Skimmy, but statement matches. These are matches where playoffs have been secured, and the teams we want to see make the statements really have. You know, the Chiefs the game before, and now Order 4K up at 12 minutes against Legacy, playing very, very well.
I mean, what's crazy to me about all that is they're winning the fight 4v5. They're guaranteeing turret plates on either ends of the map. And another game, right, where we're looking at a 15-minute state and seeing these decisive leads come out from one team. Yeah,
and you have to say, too, Puma and Beats are doing a very good job in that lane. Like, Ezreal fares very well into the Kai'Sa lane before Kai'Sa gets, Q evolve. Just because you can match auto attacks if need be, you can land the harass, you can land the Q in lane. And that isn't possible, that dive, unless you're outlaning them, right? Like, if Styled and ML aren't chunked under tower and have no hope to fight back, then the dive's not possible. But you have to give credit where credit's due. Beats and Puma stepping up in this game and having a very strong laning phase.
Just look how much poke they have between the Ezreal, and once Jay starts to group up, you can see the cogwheels turning as to, really what this brings, right? The poke, harass to squishing them up, and then Chungi and Vengeance to find the finishing blows. But why not? He has suffered his first death of the game, but he's got 3 kills to his name. There's the Prowler's Claw. Can they look to try and capitalize on Maximize? He's earned that flash. Explosive Cast goes out for pretty much a guarantee that they can summon this Herald, and he's going to be okay.
And if we want to be hypercritical, potentially the Gragas could have predicted the Jace flash. But I mean, that's just like, we're grasping at straws, right? Just trying to find windows or...
Oh! That's a good lantern. I like that one.
You can do that, and that's the beauty of Karthus. When you're accelerated, you have to factor in that there's a global Dark Harvest, Liandry's ultimate coming down on your head.
Chungi's just having so much fun right now. 5-1 and 2. Why not take him out of the situation?
Okay.
Yes, he can. Isolation finding its value right now. Why not? In the right place at the right time. So he continues to be, you'd say, the saving grace of this roster.
Yeah, and I mean, the gold deficit is at 5K, but if there is ever a window where they can get back into the game, it's peeking the side lanes, and this might be a kill here in the bot lane.
There's the flare. Okay, combo's being burnt here from ML, looking to basically buy time to ensure Starved can get out, but all too easy for the bottom lane of Order there, literally running up at you. 4-0-2 right now. What can Why Not do? Baits out the flash. He doesn't have his own, so can't chase that killer across, but keeping up tempo and making sure it's not a free run here for this Karthus. Yeah,
ML Starved might need to thank him for that one, because he'd saved the day there. Teleport coming through from Maximize.
Maximize looking to make this a fight that wins in their way, and Kursu leads the gank, falls on down to the gank, and Maximize rocks up to ensure that that turret dies as well. Double the kills, and now to be 6k gold as a lead as well. 15 minutes on the clock, and this is Order looking to put on an absolute clinic.
Yeah, Skimmy, I've had some rough days at the office, both on Summoner's Rift and both in the literal office. And this is what I would deem a rough day in the office for Incursio. Nothing he is doing is working. He's trying to provide some protection for his AD carry in that scenario, and Maximize just pops his head into bot lane and says, Incursio, I'll chalk up another death for you.
I'm helping, but unfortunately, it doesn't really get much better, right, Juves? You already vocalized the issues of what Legacy have with it being a very AD-centric comp. We saw pretty much the flip end of this with the game beforehand. Hold that for 2 seconds, though. Why not sniffing that trouble? And it was one auto attack away from falling on down, but, I mean, it's a full AD composition. They need to snowball, but they're the ones falling behind.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not, yes, I agree with you, but it's not full AD. But however, your only AP threat is behind. So you may as well be full AD. And the Order composition in terms of damage spread is actually what we wanted to see from Legacy. Now, I heard whispers that Why Not thinks the Nidalee matchup into Karthus isn't a great one. But I think it's, agree to disagree in the sense of whatever you're comfortable playing. And he's proving this matchup to be correct at the very least. Like, he's having a good game, despite the deficit he was put in the early game. So keep your eyes on him in the next team fight. Maybe he's going to be able to carry his team over the line, but it is quite a substantial gold lead.
Well, one thing they're very good at doing, Juice, is rushing down these objectives. That dragon got on a heartbeat as soon as it spawns. Order not able to find the one. Ah, the flash hook onto Incursio. Beat, stop it. He's already dead.
Yep. And the rough day for Incursio continues, doesn't it? Just a very... But you know what? Probably a bit unfair to say rough day at the office for Incursio. Yeah, he has flash, but Beats is just putting these hooks on a string. Like, he's really just heat-seeking missiles, and again.
Yep. You say it, it happens. Is the Requiem even going to be necessary? He burns the flash. They might guarantee it now. He hits the smite on that Grom to buy himself a little bit of HP. Hits the sweeper.
Yeah, well played.
Do they know where I am? Stagger death time is potentially, but the collapse continues. Beats!
Ooh.
Oh!
Okay. We take those. We take
Great
that.
escape.
That was a decent escape. You have to admit, like, goes over to the Grom, uses smite, gets the heal back. W from Kha'Zix in melee range gives you the heal back as well, so very well calculated. But unfortunately, 2-level lead in the jungle matchup now.
It's a tough one. Certainly is. Order not going to be too upset that they lost that dragon. It is a mountain sword they're playing for, and quite honestly, they are a composition that is building damage. The mitigation, sure, it's nice, but it's not going to be the end of the world. The hook goes out, but the zonal threat. As Puma is 5-0-2 right now. Not going to be caring too much here. They're going to look to try and overlap all the CC in the world. The Lantern can't be clicked. And that's a really good shutdown.
Now, what I want to keep my eyes on, if we can, or figure out, is what evolve does Kha'Zix opt in for? Has he gone the wings? Has he gone the Kha'Zix W? Yep. Wings? Is that wings? Can't tell from the skins. Yeah, that was wings. So Kha'Zix now has the reset, the potential to just absolutely clean up a team fight. And the reason I think he's opted in for the wings here is because there's just squishy threats, right? Incursio is still doing pretty well in the 1v1. I mean, we didn't see how that one transpired. However, Jace isn't just straight cleaning that matchup up. Item threshold that came in, Skimmy, is Karthus has picked up the Zhonya's. Now that is crucial because you want to delay the reset from Kha'Zix, right? If you're able to stay alive and not give Kha'Zix the reset and the second jump, you're pretty much going to win the team fight. The danger is when Wynot's able to just hop all over like the grasshopper that it is, and this might be one of them.
Leapfrog Gaming hits the ult, goes in V's, looking to try and take down Maximize in a 1v1 situation. Winter has the flash, has the ult, the explosive cask isn't used because it was on cooldown, Jubes. Literally 5 seconds away.
Yeah, but did you notice how Maximize lived there? I wonder if you saw it. Did you see it?
I did miss it. I was too occupied on seeing if the kill went across.
so why not use the Prowler's Claw for the execute, or just that little bit of damage and to end up on the backside of Maximize? However, the Jace Hammer cancelled the Prowler's Claw damage. Yeah, so that was what happened there, because his character went through a little bit of a backwards and forwards moment and took stock of what that could have been, and it was definitely the Prowler's Claw just being cancelled. And so there you go. Today I learned.
Well, today I learned as well. And, unfortunately for them, it is why not thinking, well, I've got the Edge of Night. I'm not going to try and cancel out all these major ults in the world. I'm going to pop my ultimate again. I'm going invisible. I'm hitting the Leapfrog. Here's the smite. What can I do? Hang on a minute. There's the Karthus. Not keen on that. Out goes the ultimate. True Shot Barrage does not connect, and everybody just hits the high five in mid lane.
Yeah. But if that, if that Ezreal ult lands there, the Karthus ult does kill Wynot, and maybe even in lethal range now, but heals up. Fighting for Pro in mid lane, and this is where Order's composition really shines. Drop this Herald in the mid lane. If they want, they could just set up a siege, but they haven't set up correctly. Too much of a flank threat coming out of the bot side, and the Herald doesn't even get a charge, so unlucky gaming there. Hook lands.
Oh, the hooks keep coming, the kills keep going, and, well, this poke from Ezreal is absolutely insane right now. How much will this Requiem do? It's starting to pack its punch. 10 stacks there in the Dark Seal. Might get to see Vengeance upgrading that to Magize.
So that Requiem there isn't to kill. I think he knows deep down that's not killing anyone, but it's the Baron that it gets you. It gets you the health advantage, the HP advantage, so that they can't really contest, and you're just going to shred that one with the Leandries. Karthus, one of the fastest Baron takers in the game, so that just absolutely falls down.
Just gone, and then they can get the Empowered Recall back to base to sneak in that one. And as you say, I mean, both compositions really strong at taking these objectives, but Order just finding their moment to shine.
Yeah, and there's a teleport coming on in, so looks like they do want to contest this dragon. However, that's the problem with this Gragas build, right? You have no one to face check at this point. When you opt in for AP Gragas, walking in like that is just no bueno.
Well, 8k gold leads. Baron is there as well, so make it 10. What can they do to try and stop this one? It would be 2-2 in favor of Legacy so far. The hook goes sideways. They miss it. Why not trying to assess them? They all get taken down, negated, exhaust flash, and hoping that he can live. There's the shock blast. And Order taking on 2 fights at once. We'll beat you in the skirmishes. We'll take down 3. We'll guarantee ourselves another dragon. and we'll showcase what a 10k gold lead looks like.
Yeah, 22 minutes, 10k gold lead, Baron buff, marching down the mid lane, winning a team fight on Soul Point 2. So, I mean, it's pretty clinical from Order, right? This is what we wanted to see from them. Yeah, everyone across the board played very well, and you know, arguably, Order's best player for the split has had the toughest time this game, in the sense that Maximize, you know, 1, 2, and 6 hasn't had a terrible game by any means. He's up 60 CS, but he just hasn't really had to do much. And I'm probably highlighting the fact that he did hit the cannon minion instead of the kill. You know, if we talk about roughies, but
yeah, he forced his hand on the top side, going for that dive, doesn't find it, then says, oh, well, I'll just leave this to the rest of my team. The AD threats are strong enough to take us across the line. 12 kills between them, 17 as a whole. Really has been Chungy and Puma's playground.
Yeah, I mean, but if Beats can keep this type of form too, right, they're a big force to be reckoned with.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, like he swung himself topside on a perfect timer to get a kill topside, walk back bot lane, got a kill bot lane too. So wherever he went, the hooks were landing, and sometimes you just have games like that, and again, like, it's the best timing to come into that sort of form if you're an Order fan.
And it's kind of fitting, right, to the Order narrative we saw of last year. Obviously different rosters, but maybe the memes don't die when the rosters do change. That, you know, you're looking at this late game playoffs performance that seems to come about here for Order. Maybe this is the beginning of that tune once again. But here's Legacy, still sniffing out trouble. The Baron's soon to expire, 40 seconds away. And Why Not can only hit the ultimate and try and find 1v1s like this. The rest of Order come together. Here's the true shot barrage that ends that assassination attempt. And now they show you how to play Leapfrog, as it's Chungy that hits the reset on the rocket jump.
Yeah, and it's just there's no more assassination threat, right? Like, he's too starved of levels, too starved of gold. KDA looks pretty when you compare it to the rest of his team, but Order just marching down the mid lane with the minion wave, with the Baron buff, with the poke, potentially looking to end this one.
Certainly are, and in terms of ways they can end this one, still got the Requiem looking to try and execute to guarantee that they have enough members here to close out this game. There it is, down to 50%. That'll open up the floodgates to guarantee that they can take down these Nexus turrets. And as you say, Tristana does a fair bit of damage. The Nexus exposed. A last-ditch effort here for Winter as he body slams in, hits the ultimate. He falls on down, can't take anybody with him. But it's a 1-for-1 so far as Fresh has died in the process of it. Order grouped up together. Prevent the isolation. Do whatever you can to try and find these fights in your favor. And it will be a double kill that works in their favor to start off with. But Incursia will find that kill. He's been looking for them all game long. It won't change the tune, though. It is an ace all the same. And at 25 minutes on the clock, it'll be Order that take down Legacy.
Yeah, and Order came in with a really strong game plan, you know, from as early as level 1, where they were looking to stamp their foot on this match, and just an overall very good team performance. And it's probably what we wanted to see from them. You know, a few hiccups here and there against Legacy, against a few other teams, but what a way to say we're here and we're ready for playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Mac, that was a game that was really all about showcasing why you're a team in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was certainly something. Very happy with the performance from Order there. And look, as an avid Kha'Zix fan, I got so excited when I saw it sliding in there, but I also found out that it's not a great pick in competitive League of Legends because the opposing team just decides to stand next to one another and then you're slightly obsolete. So, look,
Quite
maybe
literally.
it is a bit more of a solo queue champ, but I still loved what I saw. There was one moment where he managed to isolate Vengeance in his jungle with the little invade. So, that at least was exciting. And, of course, you know, Legacy, I liked what I saw from them, but I really liked what I saw from Order better. It seemed like the team diff kind of came through in terms of the draft, and it's good, you know, another win for Order as well, and it was relatively convincing, you know, not as close as I thought going into this match today.
I thought Order were going to win. In terms of tipping, I just threw a curveball. I thought maybe this is my chance to break away from the pack, but I thought, yeah, we would be in for a closer game. The skill disparity between certain individuals isn't that big. However, they just made it look too easy. Like 24 minutes, I believe they ended it in, right? Or 25? Yeah. So, I mean, like, you can't ask for a cleaner game than that. Yeah, there was kills given away, but sometimes kills are just consolidation prizes in a game that you've just closed out convincingly, right? Like, you lose a member here, a member there in a team fight. Yeah, the KDA will look pretty on a certain member, and Why Not being one of them. However, he was set to fail from level 1, and I keep saying this, but it was just a game in which Order just executed. Like, honestly, probably one of their better performances for the year. And I know they've beat some good teams, but in terms of just as a package, how they've moved around the map and played together as a team, it was very, 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 very good.
Yeah, look, I've seen a couple of lackluster Karthus performances and then some really good ones, and that has to be one of the better performances I've seen out of a Karthus so far. So, you know, props for Vengeance for dropping that. I think that's not his first good performance either. He actually had another very impactful one, pressing R at very good moments for Order there, you know. So hopefully we get to see a little bit more of that. I like it, though, because it's a change of pace. I'm getting, I wouldn't say bored, but it seems like we get a lot of Lilia, Hecarim, and that's it. Like,
yeah.
It seems to be
exactly,
the
Mac.
meta pick.
My point exactly. I think even the junglers themselves, I think I've seen Parbu complain about it, that, you know, the jungle meta feels a little bit stale. I think even from a global front too, that, you know, you've seen the same time and time again. The spice is lacking. We've seen the likes of, you know, Skarners. Obviously, Viego's no longer available for us to even talk about. The Evelyns, the Shyvanas, even the Nunu, right? We've had those curveballs, but so far and few between. The meta is just being hard locked in. So I got excited for the Kha'Zix. In isolation, it sounds good. But in practice, yeah, it wasn't able to really hit the mark.
Yeah, look, I want to take you down memory lane quickly as well. So Maximize, he kind of did something naughty there up in that top lane, which you guys called out. I think everyone saw. And look, I saw a Twitch chat dropping question marks, and I was like, look, I'll be a little bit cheeky. I'll drop the question mark. Instantly, Halo ats me and says, Mac, you cannot do that. You're bronze 2. And I'm like, okay, look, just let me have this, all right? Look, I'm just hiding here. I'm here to have a good time. I'm just watching with the boys. Anyway, let's get Nat back in. Who do you have for us, Nat, to have a quick chat to for the post-game interview?
I have dragged in Chungy after such an incredible performance. Congratulations on the win. How are the confidence levels going for Order now?
Yeah, we worked on we committed to a play style and we had a game plan, and yeah, we just committed to it and it turned out really well, like from level 1.
Yeah, it felt like you guys were just constantly snowballing. Now, we've heard a few times that Legacy is notoriously difficult to draft against. What were your thoughts coming out of that one? Were you shocked by anything, or were you actually really prepared for it?
We were preparing for Sybil to play, but because Why Not was playing, he doesn't really play the meta junglers. So it wasn't like up to us to ban, you know, the Hecarim, the Lilia. We had to ban Udyr because that was the third one left. But yeah, coming into draft, like we just knew what they were going to pick, and we had our picks ready for it, pretty much.
It definitely paid off for you guys. Now, I want to know a little bit more about the mid lane matchup and how you were feeling through that game.
So Lucian versus Tristana, I think it's Lucian favored, but both champions can't like dash into each other. So Lucian does get priority, but like each champion can solo kill each other. But I was, I guess, better on the day against Incursio.
Just absolutely stepped up. The last thing I do want to ask you is, how did you play compared to your expectations for this game?
Yeah, we played really well today. Like the past, you know, few weeks, because there's no like veteran member on our team, so we usually just tunnel onto like a bad call or something, and it just like snowballs from there during the game, and we just like lose like really hard. So today we just focused on like our main objective, and yeah, we just did well today.
You guys really did show up. It was an absolute spectacular showing, but congratulations again, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Nice little insight there as well. So good to hear that, you know, we're going to continue to get a couple of Lilia, Hecarim, Bams, try to make the jungle a bit more interesting, even if it may not be as impactful as the meta picks. But look, be it as it may, that brings us towards the play of the day. And look, I'm going to take your guesses. So we'll go down the row again. Jubes, any standouts for the play of the day?
I think it's the Biopanther teleport into like the slam jam, thank you ma'am, whatever it's called, whatever he did.
Okay, what about you, Skimmy?
100%. I mean, that looked like a game where Peace were maybe, you know, throwing all these options at them and saying, come at us, come at us, come at us. And Biopanther took them up on that option and said, okay, 1v4, have at it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Nat?
Well,
Same one or different
I
ones?
feel like I want to guess differently. I mean, I would kind of hope that's the play of the day, but I'll guess a different one. I think it was in our second game. There was like a triple kill. That's a vague memory of it, and then went into an ace. That's the only memory I have of it. I can't tell you any other details.
Well, let's have a quick look at what the play of the day was. And I'll have to say, Nat, you're wrong.
Oh, wow.
Boys, you're right. Look at this. TP straight in. He's had it completely another piece, says 1v4. Let's go solo, Bolo, and Jubes. Look, if you want to cast the end of it, feel free.
Oh yeah, Panther just coming in, hitting API, doing absolutely no damage. It's more interesting on the backside there, where Chaz absolutely lands the laser into the rain, into the Chaos Storm. Halo just a little bit caught out of position there. You think maybe he lives, but he takes Aladoric into his own teammate, lands the slam. Welcome, there's the jam, Space Jam coming out soon. I don't know when in the cinemas, but anyway, API in there, Lisa, Udia going down. You think he might escape, but that's absolutely clinical coming out of Petsonet lineup.
The voice change is so good.
Yeah,
I hope you're getting paid for that. Like, that was a great, drop.
Fun fact, I actually feature in the Space Jam film, so I just paid endorsement, whatever.
He's got his royalties.
What, voice acting? You know, you said you had a face for radio, so did you just get, like, put onto one of the characters, or what?
My face is the basketball, that's what.
Beautiful. So you copped a bit of a beating during this one. Nice,
yes.
nice
I
to see.
feature,
Well,
though. Like I said, I do feature.
Moving forward, congratulations to Bio Panther for getting that play of the day. That was nuts. I don't think I know many people with the chat ability to jump in like that 1v4 against a team like Peace and say, come on, boys, it's happening. But look, there you go. So we have one more game day remaining before it's time for the playoffs. So let's see what these matchups are going to be going into Friday. Of course, we do have tomorrow off, so we can all just, relax, chill out for a little bit, and decide on what we need to do before Friday. So who's on Friday, by the way?
We're running it back again, Mac.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I think it's all of us.
We're making it happen.
Look,
Just like
I just realized I sounded full disappointed, but no,
Oh,
I will be
back
there.
again. Cool.
I will be
It's
there.
okay, bro. Hey, it's okay. I'll just bring in Rust Dog. We'll take him out of his swamp. We'll bring him back into the fold of things. We'll make it happen.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, well, looking at the ladder at the end of today, Pensonet still undefeated. Peace, 10-3, so not doing too terribly there. And this leaves Direwolves completely open to maybe taking that second position going into the next game day. Order and Chiefs still tied up. Let's see if that continues and if we are going to have to look at the head-to-head or if that changes on the final day. And of course, Legacy, Gravitas, Mammoth, all still bottom of the table, unfortunately, even though we have seen a lot of, good moments and great improvement from the teams as well. So let's see what the games are going to be on Friday. Bring up the old schedule, and it is going to be Chiefs and Direwolves. That'll be a nice banger. Got Gravitas, Pensonet as well, so all things considered, it should be 14-0 for Pensonet, but maybe Gravitas do the unthinkable. Order and Peace could be another good one if Order play like they did today, not making too many mistakes. Peace as well. They've been looking pretty damn good. And then Legacy and Mammoth. Is this a chance for Mammoth to get their second win on the board? Or are Legacy just going to go hammer and find their fourth win? So, Juice, what is your game of the day for Friday?
I think it's Chiefs and Direwolves, just because I want to get a understanding of which team's which. Who's the big dog in the yard. You know what I mean? I think that the winner of that game really determines, who the next best team is in the league, because it's quite clear that it's Pensonet, Peace, then who? I think that game really decides it, especially leading into playoffs, because that's like your run of form. That's the closest you're going to be to before the best of 5 starts. So time will tell.
Certainly going to be something. Nat, we're going to try to chime in before. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say that it's crazy that, we have a possible contention for second place between Peace and Direwolves, and then we have our 4th and 5th positions to be figured out between Order and Chiefs, and then we have those 4 teams essentially playing off against each other tomorrow. So whilst the Order and the Peace game is really interesting, I do agree that the Chiefs and the Direwolves one is probably going to be the biggest one to look at.
Well, someone told me, Jubes, that you love Viego, and someone from the fans has actually sent in a clip of their Viego gameplay. So if you want to, take the reins, have a bit of a cast, warm up that voice, take us through this one.
I did die 15 times in my last Viego game, but I can't even process. Look at all the colors, dude. It's gonna go replay, and then I'll get back into it. I gotta warm up. I'm warming my eyeballs up. Is that an Orn? That's an Orn. Look at him go. Wawa weewa. Look at him. Slam, slam, slap. Oh, is that Casa? Is that his name? I can't.
It is, yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know him.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I know him from. He's from my stream. Good on him. Champion.
At Casa Os.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that guy.
So, do you like that one? A little bit of
I didn't play by play it because I actually thought we were going to get a replay, but that was actually a bit of a longer, montage. So I really do apologize. If you submitted for my play by play, I apologize. There's not much I can do about it. Honestly, just sue the producer.
Oh, okay. Well, he doesn't want to be sued, and he said we could play it again, and then we'll guess the ranks. So, Juice.
Oh, did he?
Are you ready?
I was trying to get him sued. Anyway. Oh my god, the Viego goes in. He misses the ultimate. I can't believe it. Doesn't matter because it's just such a busted champion. Oh, the Orn goes down. And he's got the Orn horn. The Orn horn comes on in. He's chasing down the Nunu. They're running down the mid lane. Uses the gap close. Lands it. Can he double sword? Lands the 2 swords. Goes in. Gets the health regen back. Ezreal's the last one to fall. Gets the snowball rolling down mid. No, he can't be reported because this one takes the kill. And he picks up the last bit of the pie. Ezreal picks up the pentakill.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, you want to tell me what rank you think that is? Skimmy, I think this is your profession.
Oh, damn. Well, I'm going to get roasted straight away because I'm sure Juves knows this question, right?
I spat on my screen.
You what?
I'm gonna go plat. Let's hit the plat.
Hit the plat. Almost. Not quite. Apparently, I think it was gold 3.
Why is gold every
4.
click gold? There we
I
go.
thought you were just gonna say gold again, Skimmy, just to.
Look, I feel like it's one of those
day.
it's like one of those rock paper scissors where they just throw rock at you all day. And you're like, it has to be something different, but it just juked me again. So there you go.
Well, there it is. So 1 day left of the LCO, of the group stage before we get into playoffs. So just going to check. Anyone want to say any final words before we get into the final day of group games? Floor's open.
Don't think so.
No. You're done. You just want to get to the gym like me. Look, okay, I love that. Good decision. Good decision. Let's go. Stay fit, stay healthy. And you guys at home, stay fit, stay healthy, and stay bloody hydrated. Have a good day off, and we'll see you on Friday for much more LCO action.
It does break out, and maybe we just
Watch
see
out,
a normal game.
It's a one-man knock-up onto Decoy so far. Then they buff with the magnet. There's the stun. Decoy in so much trouble. He's going to fall down for first blood. It's going to be Lisa that picks it up. Out coming to TP's Violet flashing away. Needs a bit of a heal. Oh, the flash haymaker misses Juice. Looking for the 1v3 angle right now. He has the ultimate. He is 1v4. He doesn't seem to mind. Chaz is there on the retreat. He hits one with the haymaker. Punches the second one to the head. Chaz is here running down Lisa with the ultimate. BioPanther literally winning the game on his own terms. All the Magi stacks lost in a heartbeat. Beautiful play there from Gravitas. What can Divals look to do and try and salvage from this situation? The box has gone down. It's zoned away. Cupcake, he can't do too much as his ult expires. His health bar might as well. That's Lilia down. It's a 2-0 trade in favor of Gravitas here. The beautiful base defense. Stonecrab looking for a reset angle. He's rocket jumped in. He's just been bound. He's down to 50%. Floppy so low. Kyose down low as well. They're flirting with the resets. He buys himself a little bit of time there with the stopwatch juice, and that's all it took for a triple. Both junglers know what's happening though, and as Jungleman reveals, he's forced to disengage away. The ultimate connects, he flashes out of it. He's been smited, he's been slowed down. He's in so much trouble, and Bowman connects, the bot lane rotate up, and Chiefs find a double.
Doesn't want to get slept under tower.
He's holding it for as long as possible right now. It might just expire in a second. He might just get solid out in the process. Oh no, Kisei, he hit the flash, just somehow connects. So scuffed. Tag team duo doing what they do best. Kisei diving between multiple turrets. He doesn't care. He's now godlike. Busters with the killer instinct just out of turret range. Emil with the last bit of mana is unable to try and secure that one. Exhaust to try and prevent the explosive cast. Chungy, he's out of range. Oh, it connects finally. It's another shutdown here for Wino. He's 3-0. The hook connects. But it's all things order so far. They lose 1, but they take down 4.
Yeah, well played.
Do they know where I am? Stagger death time is potentially, but the collapse continues. Beats! Oh!